Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today's Monday. So we are Momming It Monday with Crypto Mame, and we've got a bunch of crypto news for you. There's a lot of things happening, upgrades on Bitcoin, and things happening around the corner with Litecoin. So we'll be right back with some Metaverse and Taproot. Hi there, Mame. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Lisa. I'm so happy we are here.
Yes, good to see you. Good to see you. The big news, I think the biggest news today is the Taproot news that happened over the weekend. The block confirmed, and this big upgrade seems to be what the big hubbub was all about. Uncle Cliff talked about it, so I have a basic understanding, but I think you have probably a better grasp of it than I do. If you want to explain to everybody.
I wish I did, Lisa. I just know it's going to be great for Bitcoin in general because it's going to, just give it that smart contract capability. And it's going to enable a lot of possibilities, very similar to what we see in the Ethereum blockchain. And now we have the second layer built up on the Bitcoin network, which will allow similar functions. So in the future, we may see DeFi capabilities and all kinds of good and new things happening on the Bitcoin network. So I'm excited because, it's Bitcoin network, so it's stable, it's a secure chain, and we all trust it. And I think that's gonna, just showcase how these second layers can be very effective in getting the job done as well.
I think it also, from my understanding from Uncle Cliff talking about it last night on his video, he explained that it would make the fees a lot cheaper with Bitcoin, which I think is significant in keeping Bitcoin in the game as far as people using it for everyday kind of things. It also talked about using the smart contracts and having it for looping. What did he call it? For looping programs where previously Bitcoin couldn't do that. It was like the program would run and it would end, which was part of the reason that it was so secure, because it would run and end. So I think this is huge news. I did think it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw Charlie Lee posted a tweet that said, "Thanks for being a test net for Litecoin. Now that Taproot was successful, we can do this privacy thing and he talked about it being a privacy thing though for Litecoin.
I think supposedly it enhances privacy, and it pumps up the Lightning network,
as well,
capabilities as well. So I think it's awesome, and so it makes Bitcoin programmable. But in a different way than Ethereum, and Ethereum, the trick is it is programmable on its main chain. So that's why the transactions are fairly heavy, and therefore it's gonna, it's pricey to transact on Ethereum right now. And they are trying to solve those issues, which I hope they do in the future. But with this Bitcoin upgrade, you would think, oh my gosh, this could get fees to be more expensive, right? Because it's going to make it programmable. Therefore, it's going to take more energy to have that transaction go through. But it's not, because it's done on the second layer. similar to the Lightning Network, it can be processed within the same block and taking the same amount of time. The data is actually separated from the actual main chain. And that's I would love to see it happening and not having any fee, it's not being too expensive, and us being able to indulge and play, and maybe one day mint an NFT in the Bitcoin blockchain.
It's pretty incredible to think about. Yeah. I was really excited about that. So that all happened, and let's see. I think I had
a quick thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of the whole, because like when I first got into crypto, I didn't understand how many, early on there wasn't as many blockchains that there were today, right? Even in 2017, my early days, there were only few blockchains, and Ethereum seemed to be the most dynamic one, and that's why so many projects jumped into the Ethereum blockchain and built their projects in the Ethereum blockchain. And what was popping, the ICO and a lot of new coins happening, because they all saw an easy way that they could program money and issue tokens on ERC20, So you saw like Brave do it. You see many legit established businesses and projects actually functioning now fully on the Ethereum blockchain. The only problem there is the issue with withdrawing and transacting that sometimes can be expensive. But imagine how much the ecosystem in Bitcoin can grow now that, if people can choose, do I want to issue coins on the Ethereum blockchain or on the Bitcoin blockchain? Maybe trickier now because it's the beginning of, but I'm so excited to see who is going to be the first project, who is going to issue tokens there, what are they going to be about, and so very excited to see all this new realm coming up.
Definitely. Well, speaking of issuing coins and tokens, I'm going to find this article. We have this exciting news. So there have been a couple cities now that are issuing their own coins or tokens. The New York coin launched, I guess this was last week. This was on the 12th of November. So that was, Friday, I think. The New York coin had launched. The Miami coin had already generated 21 million. And Austin, Texas is planning on being the next city to have its own cryptocurrency. So this is really exciting to me that these coins are being created. These mayors have already, these are just some of the mayors that have said, I want to be paid in Bitcoin. Which I think it's interesting that they're wanting to be paid in Bitcoin. Maybe they're going to be paid in their own coin. I think that might be maybe the next step. I don't know. Pretty exciting.
When I saw this news, it inspired me, and maybe it will inspire viewers to actually do the research and see what type of utility has those coins. What are they for in specific, you know what I mean? That's really interesting. I'm actually gonna do a little dig and maybe write an article about it, because it's fun to do coins, but at the same time, it should be an utility. If you buy a city coin, do you get a free bus pass? What is, what
are the benefits? How does that pay you back?
Yeah, I wanna understand what is it behind,
Yeah, I need to have Ken Bozak on. He was talking to me, and we're still kicking it around, and I'm going to meet with Bitcoin Queen to talk to her about it. But I went ahead and bought the Bro NFT 420 because there's only so many of them. But he was saying you buy the Bro NFT 420 so that you can be part of the group or whatever to then get the support, and then his team helps you build your own NFT or coin. And I think then you have to stake Ken coin, but then I could create like a Litecoin Lisa coin or token. And he said what he's doing is then his sponsorships, he has them, I think this is right, buy Ken token, so that then his people that are in his community buy a NFT and they benefit, or maybe they buy the Ken token. I've got to have him on and talk to him about it so I understand it fully.
But there is a business model there that it works.
The business model where like my community would benefit, like they would buy either the NFT or the token to support the channel. And then I would get sponsorships, and the way they would sponsor me is that they would buy my coin or token, and that would, my community would, their token or coin would go up in value. So they would benefit from it, and I would have the sponsorship come in through it. So I don't know. He's got some, he's brilliant. So
we gotta
some model there.
We got to read Ken Token's white paper, and then I'll figure it out. And I'm certain he would share the input with us. And I want to watch our show when he's in. Bring him together. I would love to.
Yeah, maybe we can do that on a Monday together. So, and get Miss Bitcoin. He tagged me and told me that she's my person to talk to about that for the team. So
she's lovely. I got to meet her, and she's actually in the ladies' video we are together. I got to record her too, so you'll definitely enjoy her.
Yeah, gonna be great lady. I got to meet her in Miami, and I think I've been on a video with her one other time too. I think I've had her on. She's in another video with 2 other ladies too, that they do a video series. So I've had them on interviewed a long time ago when I was first starting my channel. So
there you go.
Good stuff. But so let's see, what other news do we have? We've got lots of good stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have definitely a lot. Which direction you want to go?
You tell me which way you want to
go. We have Alibaba got hacked, so that's like we can keep it short, so just letting people know that happened, and you're seeing more and more centralized systems just getting hacked. That's unfortunate, and supposedly they installed a malware that crypto mined. It was like a crypto mining malware that got installed into the people that got hacked, basically. So they are hacking and making sure that they get crypto at the same time that they mine it.
Yeah, I don't know how that's actually a link from Telegram, and I can't share that, but that I sent. So I don't really understand how that works. So they somehow hacked Alibaba, and then they're using their servers to mine the crypto. Is that how that works?
I truly don't know. Or if they actually send, like they hacked and got people's information and then send them an email with a link with a with a malware that once you click, it basically mines with your on people's computer, you know what I mean, your access broadband. I don't know how it works. I really don't know how it works. But I don't know if they actually hacked Alibaba or if they actually hacked the users.
Okay. So that was a really new, that just happened, or we just got that information today at 2:00. So that's pretty new information. So we'll get more information on that, I'm sure.
And we will see if it's valid or not. It could be, sometimes, unfortunately, when something is so fresh, even though we report here, it may be called, it may be fact-checked later on, and it may not be the case. So keep that in mind as well.
Absolutely. So that we had some metaverse news. There were a couple things, a little good and a little bad, depending on if you're metaverse positive or negative. The Barbados was said or announcing that they were going to establish an embassy in the metaverse. I thought this was interesting that a country was, already kind of giving it that kind of acknowledgement and saying, validating it in that way.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
It's so interesting. It's so funny how sometimes, like when I see the news like that, it really seems like there is a whole new world being built in the metaverse, right? Something like there is a town and people are, but sometimes I think it should be things that are probably going to integrate with our reality somehow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how this, metaverse is really going to shift. And I don't see it. I see it more like integration on our day-to-day basis, meaning like, maybe possibly, we'll wear glasses that have supervision. And when we go somewhere, we can see extra layers, or, we can from outside the mall look at a screen and see inside. I don't know, but I just don't see us shifting as much as the headlines indicate. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is very interesting. So then there's attacks. So I think we're going to see a lot of this too as this metaverse rolls out. So we're seeing things, some countries are embracing it, and then there's other people and things attacking it. So the Ohio Attorney General is suing Facebook, Meta, for securities fraud, which I thought that was interesting. And I'm guessing it's looking at that Meta as securities. I don't know that that's what it's connected to, but that was my guess. I couldn't find an article associated with this, but they were, unless they're talking about this Facebook launching their crypto stuff. Maybe they're considering that securities.
Yeah, and then they got confused or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to scroll down, guys, and find a link for an article on that. Usually that guy, Election Wizard, has like an article underneath. So I tagged it, and then let me see if I can find something else.
May develop more as we go, by next
Yeah.
we might be able to have more insight on it.
Let me see, latest. Ohio. Okay, here we go. About its products. No, that wouldn't be it. Misleading. Here we go. So they're saying that it's Dave Yost, Ohio Attorney General. Oh, Lord. Okay. After misleading disclosures and allegations of harm to children. Whoa. So filed a lawsuit against social media giant for misleading the public on how it controlled its algorithm in an effort to boost its stock and deceive shareholders. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So they're saying that they use their own algorithms to boost its stock and deceive people. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. So it said for roughly a month, those revelations caused a devaluation in Facebook stock, $54 per share, causing OPERS and other Facebook investors to lose more than $100 billion. Wow.
Wow, that's
so
crazy. Yeah, Long Shadow wrote a comment earlier that I found it was so interesting here. He said, I see the metaverse sucking the unaware into the black hole. At least the Facebook one is, right, Long Shadow?
Yeah, it's got a lot of concerns.
It is. Yeah, this algorithm, I definitely have an issue with. It would be great if they just shut it down and let, everything just function as is and flow organically rather than have some type of system and measuring and your thoughts and trying to gauge what they want to showcase to.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really, really
It's
strange.
very concerning. I know, they go back and the old Disney movies way back when, they've slowed them down and shown where like they wrote things in it where they were trying to get that in children's minds and stuff. And now we're saying, looking at this metaverse and how it creeps me out that like the one where you have to buy the goggles, but you have to log into Facebook to buy the goggles because the same company that owns this one metaverse also owns Facebook or whatever. Like that just creeps me out.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it is dangerous, especially for children, because we know that part, especially that the young children, that we know about the development of their brain and how they're figuring out what reality is and what it's not. And I just think it can be really dangerous. So
For sure.
we want to be careful and protect our children for sure.
For sure. So I definitely agree with you. And then we have the lawmakers, Lisa. I think you're more on top.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I know we were all really concerned about that House bill. Was it 66501 or 6501? That it was affecting, the crypto, and it was like making people who were like running nodes and stuff like a broker, and having huge ramifications of the T word that we don't talk about on this channel. And Cynthia Loomis, and does it say the other?
Senator Wyden and
Was it
Loomis.
Wyden? Okay, and Loomis. So it's a bipartisan bill. They're coming together and introducing a bill that should restrict that part of it and help with the reporting. So hopefully it will become law today and change all that. And the way they're doing this is really happening a lot faster than what I anticipated, but it looks like it looked really positive. So
Yeah.
it talks about clarifying what entities should report crypto transactions to the you-know-who.
Yeah.
So that could really be positive. I know there was another report that Mr. B's pick for his new pick for the Fed. Let me see if I can find that before I misquote myself. Said something like there doesn't need to be anything, but there only needs to be one bank and one choice, and that was very concerning. So seeing that there's other people doing some positive things and some common sense things. It was this morning, so it's going to take me a minute to find it.
No, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of change, and regulation can definitely affect. And I hope Wyden and Loomis are successful in introducing this bill to amend the crypto changes that are coming up. Right?
Definitely. Yeah, because that bill that passed and was signed today is just dangerous.
Yeah, I think it would require a lot of unnecessary work, right? Especially like, and some technologies are not set up for that. So it would be a step back. Although I do think that developers would eventually, I mean, no matter what the regulation is, eventually the whole market and the whole environment and ecosystem would adapt to the new regulation, and eventually those changes would eventually happen, but it would be unnecessary, right?
I would think so. I just don't. I don't know how quickly they can, once they turn that ship, rolling that stuff back typically is like a nightmare. So that's my concern. Why am I having so much trouble finding this? Oh, is this it? Yes, here it is. So this says that Mr. B's pick for bank regulator proposed that the Fed take over banking. And this was very concerning,
Wow.
and saying that America really only needs one bank.
Wow.
And I was like, no, that's a bad choice. So
that is like so major if you think about it. That would be a whole new reality, right? Because from what we grew up, what my parents grew up, and even grandparents, I mean, we are just so used to
having private banks and even the credit unions, things like that. Those need to be options for people.
For sure. Well, maybe, but think about it, Lisa. Once the CBDCs, if that comes to play, the banks would really become irrelevant, right? If the government would have such a programmable money, there would be no need for intermediaries. So it's definitely scary.
Yeah, well, I think that's where that reporting thing, part of what Loomis is doing and that other person, because if they weren't doing that, when they were doing that first, they had it at $600 or whatever. There were a lot of small banks that were writing to their clients and saying, "Would you please contact your representative because this will drive us out of business." Like they wouldn't be able to. They would have to hire a whole staff to do that reporting, and they wouldn't be able to keep up with business.
Of course.
So that was really concerning.
It's like so much homework, for reporting a sum that is so irrelevant. Correct. I mean, the minimum today is $10,000. Isn't something like that?
Yeah. Now it's 10. It's been 10,000 for a long time.
For a long time. Yeah. With inflation, that should have increased, right? Say, no, we should make it $12,000.
It should. You would think.
You need to spend more to get about the same things you used to. I'm just teasing, but it's silly. But no, let's decrease it to 600 because we want to check it out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they at least stayed at the 10,000, but there's another one on here that I thought, it was the one, the billionaire, let's see here.
The billionaire Coinbase co-founder.
Yeah.
There are a couple of great ones. Billionaire Coinbase co-founder nabs $2.5 billion for crypto biggest venture fund ever. So that is something in the works. The big crypto guys and the crypto enthusiasts and investors are coming together, and they were able to raise like 2.5 million for something that they believe it's going to work, right? And we don't know exactly what it is, but it's the largest fund ever, like even in Silicon Valley, fintech, all the places, when they raise money, they couldn't raise as much money as they raised this time for this venture. So I'm expecting to be something big. And
there's some big things happening this week. I mean, we've got some huge trials. There's
another one that I think you're gonna like, Lisa, is the Grayscale one, because Grayscale has reached 60 billion Australian dollars and
really?
The largest the world's largest gold fund. So basically, I did the calculus. 60 billion Australian dollars is $43.3 billion. So Grayscale is 43.3, close to 44 billion it holds in value. And the largest gold fund in the world is not as large as Grayscale is now. So the flattening has occurred on the largest.
So there's more Bitcoin in a Australian Grayscale. Is that right?
That is basically Grayscale. Let's compare. Grayscale is the
Okay,
largest
tell me that.
crypto fund in the world. I
Okay.
don't know who is the largest gold fund in the world, but it doesn't hold as much value as Grayscale.
As Grayscale now.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So Grayscale is bigger, so it occurred, if gold had valued as much as crypto has in the past 2 years, you saw a huge bull run for crypto. Gold valued as well, but not as much. So as a consequence, it's just the flattening has occurred. It's like
Wow.
more money. Grayscale is probably, very happy. I'm
sure.
And
I'm
Peter Schiff is probably very sad because I feel bad because a lot of people diversify, and gold has always been a fantastic hedge. But in the beginning there, when COVID hit and they were coming up together, I was like, oh, you're gonna find some correlation there, and I thought you would have a stronger correlation between the crypto markets and the gold and precious metal market.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't yet. We don't know the future, right? It could be that there is a catch up. But as of now, in terms of performance, crypto, especially, the old ones, the less risky ones, if you compare, they performed a lot better than precious metals.
Wow.
I know.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah, Rescale kept buying too. You see, I remember how, I don't know, it was probably late last year or very early this year, we were reporting every week how much Grayscale was packing in. They were really buying heavily,
Well, and their Litecoin trust is almost as much as their Bitcoin, or very close. Those are the two things that I hear about them buying, is their Bitcoin and their Litecoin.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But they seem like they know what they're doing, because they gained a lot of value. 43 billion, close to $44 billion is a lot of money, and they are one of the biggest investment funds in the world now. It does, and it's strictly crypto. So
wow,
it's
incredible.
Amazing.
Incredible. That is good news. And validates a lot for a lot of us, even though that we're supposedly only 2 to 3% of people in the whole world hold crypto. I just can't believe it's that small of an amount, but
I know. Yeah, when you put that into perspective, a lot of them know what it is, but they don't actually.
But they don't hold it.
Yeah, they don't hold it. They don't own it. They haven't dived into it. And it is amazing. I mean, it's it's still early. It's fairly early technology. Now, we talked a little bit about the metaverse, and it's interesting because we skipped one of the news that I have written down here, and we were talking about how it gets sued, and it's related for not being safe for kids.
Yeah.
And one of the headlines that is in our list is Disney CEO saying, we want to create a metaverse. So here we go. Hopefully it will be a very similar experience to what you have in the parks here. That will be interesting, to see. But
We shall see.
Yeah,
we shall see.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And
It feels like everybody's creating a metaverse now. Like that is a metaverse is like the new internet, or a new website. It's like everybody has their own metaverse. There's not one metaverse.
yes,
Um,
yeah, that is true. It's not, but in a way it's good, right? Because you go in and you get it to experience each one's website, but then you're gonna see the monopolies, right? The ones that really grow and become
yeah,
like,
I guess it will be. It'll be like the Facebook or Twitter or whatever. The free markets will just people will go where they have a good experience or where they're drawn to.
yeah,
Um,
totally. We'll go shopping, Lisa.
yeah. For sure. Hopefully, I can buy property in the right ones,
Okay.
buy my NFTs in the right ones.
Right,
Um,
that would be so cool. Oh,
yeah.
Theta, I heard, actually, this is not news, but I heard that Theta are now enabling more people to actually release and their own NFTs in their network now. I'm actually going to stop by as soon as I have time and see if it's possible, because I can't wait to play around and even sell some of the pieces that I got from just playing Theta from the beginning. So I got a good stash of early on NFTs that came into my wallet even before the marketplace existed.
Oh, cool.
I know. So
Well,
I'm
Theta, this whole metaverse thing shows the use case for Theta more and more, because if people are going to be that much online and using NFTs as workplaces, shopping, if that becomes the new reality and existence, sharing bandwidth is going to be so important. And that's, one of the huge use case for Theta. And so that Theta fuel is going to go crazy. I mean,
yeah.
um,
It already, I feel like, I mean, from the beginning to now, I remember, like, if you played a little bit with it, you probably have a good chunk of money built up in your Theta account over there.
mhm.
And I heard they are getting more and more, um, you know, at some point it will be usable, I think, even though, because I can already transfer my credits into the marketplace and, buy NFTs with that and other things. And at some point, I think it will be withdrawable to the wallet or to an exchange for, I think, I'm not, this is me speculating, but I do assume that, they're just waiting for regulation to be more clear to enable this type of things. And once that happens, it will be so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We had told my Patreon group about Sheba back last March or April. So a lot of our crew got in a very long time ago and are really happy about that. If you guys aren't already a Patreon member, please consider joining. It's $5 a month and it supports the channel, and you have direct access to message me, and I respond pretty quickly. And I send lots of other articles and things that I find throughout the day to my Patreon members and my patrons. This was an announcement today that one of the Winklevoss twins said that they listed Sheba on Gemini Exchange. So that was some good stuff. Exciting to see that.
I wonder, Lisa, was that the first US exchange that it was listed on?
Ooh,
I
good
was like,
question. I
because,
don't know,
oh,
because
that's
they
kind
have
of,
their own blockchain and their own exchange, Sheba
Mhm.
Swap, and so I'm not really.
Let me look here on CoinMarketCap, just out of curiosity, because that would be big news, if sometimes when it's listed, it has never been listed on a US
On a
exchange.
US exchange.
Gemini, I didn't think they would have done that, but recently they listed MCO2, which is also and they were the first to list in the US. And when they listed Sheba, I was like, maybe is it the first exchange? If so, that would be super interesting.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. But of course, because of the streaming program, my computer
yeah.
don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
My computer goes like,
We'll check. Yeah, we'll have to get back with you guys on that.
yeah.
Arid says Coinbase has Sheba.
Oh, okay,
So,
perfect. So then it's not.
it wasn't. So that was probably a big
deal. Yeah,
but
maybe
exciting.
when it first hit Coinbase, I'm sure it probably moved a lot. So you guys tell me. I wasn't invested on it, sadly, right?
Oh, you didn't get in on it. Yeah.
I know so many things to look at, Lisa. We only have.
I know there are a lot of coins, a lot of things going on. For sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things going on. Let's see. Did we touch on everything? I think everything except
I'm thinking, I love that we mentioned the Charlie comment. I'm going to go back on Twitter to really see, how he
has a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he has a great sense of humor, but I'm really wondering how that would work if we could actually implement into the Litecoin network while having, Mimbo Imbo and, all the new things going on at the same time. So it will be awesome. Imagine so much amazing things happening in crypto, and at the same time, it's that end of the year time, right? Everybody's a little bit on their nerves, thinking what's gonna be tomorrow. You see a lot of people calling the tops, right? You hear anywhere from 100K to, I've heard the other day, 500K. I was like, I don't know.
Did we cover these last week? The Brazilian, let me see, the Russian ministries legalizing Bitcoin and mining. I have a couple on November 9th.
Maybe, I don't know.
Stories. Let me just pull those up really quick. So it said Bitcoin overtakes the Swiss franc, and is the 13th largest currency in the world. That was on November 9th. I think we talked about that one. Yeah, because that was in the morning. But then there's two more that are later in the day. No, those are early. We probably covered those two. So Russian ministries want to legalize Bitcoin and crypto mining, and then Apple CEO owns Bitcoin and Ethereum, and he's talking about it on a video. So we must have talked about that too.
I think we did. I think on the Russian, I think we did for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure we hit all of those. All right. Well, great talking with you about all the news. We've got lots of great stuff going on, and there was one more that we're going to touch on, but I think it's not too much of a big deal. At first I was like all freaked out, and then my friend Robert Beatles is like, calm down, they're just copies, privately held copies of the US Constitution. But it is kind of cool that a DAO is, or a decentralized group is bidding on privately held copies of the US Constitution. So we're seeing these cryptocurrency groups being formed, DAOs, and they are going to be a decentralized autonomous organization, has been formed, and they are raising funds to place a bid on the last privately held copy of the US Constitution. My conspiracy ears perk up when I hear some of these things. First time in 33 years, one of the 11 surviving copies of the official edition of the Constitutional Convention will be auctioned at Sotheby's. The auction takes place on November 18th at 6:30 with a starting bid of $15 million to $20 million. But it's interesting to me that they're using DAOs to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be more and more common, one person is, we have power together, and now we have this beautiful way to create governance and to be able to give all these accounting properties to all kinds of to anything. Literally, we could create a DAO to basically do anything, raise money for cause. We could do that, I just think I'm seeing like to make a movie, to create a business. Maybe you don't have a means to do it by yourself. You want to create a structure in which you want to create together, have everybody can govern and everybody can have ownership. And that's the shift. And I think that's the true shift of having a decentralized mindset, because we were raised and everything we saw was centralized. Our schools, our churches, every entity we ever came to touch with was centralized since we were born. And then when we discover Bitcoin, it's not about just the freedom of money and everything, but it truly is like belonging to something and want to have something flourish because it's to the benefit of everybody. And that concept is it's mind shifting, and I think everybody now feels like they can take ownership of things.
Well, so here in this article, they're saying there's contributions. You can write messages with your pledge or donation. I'm in no way condoning this or supporting this. Like I said, I'm just learning about this. So you guys, I'm not sure if this is a money grab or a good or a bad thing. So
true, yeah,
everybody do your own research. But I think this is interesting. He says, it says the power of DAOs is just beginning to unfold. Just this morning, 10,000 citizen NFTs of City DAO on Ethereum sold out. The organization used the proceeds to buy a 40-acre plot in Wyoming. The contributors will jointly plan and govern activities related to that land going forward. And then it says this news comes after Vitalik, co-founder of Ethereum, wrote about the potential of crypto cities and the important roles that DAOs will play in the future. And I think that's what you were talking about, that like, okay, we've had like, we know what just happened in 2020 where we felt like our count wasn't counted, and DAOs are kind of a way or a possible way where your voice could be heard, possibly.
For sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And people could have equal voices as well, depending on how you give away that participation in that DAO as well. Because okay, in this one you buy in, but what if, you know what I mean? Like there are other ways in which you could give away that.
You could participate in the DAO by a different act of our contribution. It doesn't have to be financial to earn your DAO.
That's what I think in the future. I mean, it's just like so interesting, and this decentralized mindset is picking up, and the same way we are innovating and figuring out ways to use NFT technology to increase the reach of our art, for example. I think like people are like, oh, look, decentralization is, there is this way of new governance. Well, why don't we come together and buy this thing, and we can protect it, and maybe we can sell instead you can buy in your ownership, but you can resell it if you're not interested, because sometimes you would buy something with someone, you gotta own it and wait until someone wants to sell it with you. But what if you can buy a share on that, but then you got tired, but everybody else didn't get tired, you want to sell it, you sell it to somebody else that wants it, So that capability wasn't there before, and this new way of rearranging pieces, it was actually there, but the documentation, it would be harder. This is just so easy when you can tokenize an item and anyone can own shares of it. It's like timeshares are the perfect example of it. If you look at it as a hotel, you don't want to own a holiday, but you can buy a timeshare and you can use a certain number of the days. You know what I mean? That's kind of like that. But it's not like you're going to be able to take the copy home though, you know, like people are gonna be like,
Right.
I own it, I want to have it
I
displayed
want
in
to have
the
it.
living
Yeah.
room. No, you're
But
not
with
only
something
cost.
like that, they could have their a digital version of it, and everyone would have the digital version of it,
Yeah, they can
but
have a
not the
digital
physical.
version of it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
maybe that digital version allows you to print one copy of that. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. And then,
Yeah. Interesting.
however, it's just the decentralized mindset that is just growing. And I think that's gonna open a realm of possibilities in the future because people are not gonna have to rely on bank, for example, to get a loan to open a business. They can throw the idea out there, and then other people can jump in and talk, and then
Yeah. I mean, just like with Kickstarter, what Carlos Estrada did with the watches.
yeah,
And that could be done with tokenization using cryptocurrency instead of using banks and
yeah, yeah.
US dollars. Yeah, for sure.
And this is a little example of that, and that's pretty cool. And I'm seeing other things pop up here and there. DAOs, to plant more trees, and now, little things that are happening that are pretty wonderful. So we'll keep positive.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I'm really excited about the future. I think there's some scary stuff out there, but we've just got to, stay together. I believe in humanity, and I think we've got a bright future. We just have to, stay together and protect each other and be thinking about, the children and thinking about what we want our future to look like and our community to look like. So,
For sure.
I
Good
will be.
always prevails, so
I believe that.
so
Yeah.
like you
Well,
say,
I'll be sending you lots of love, Michelle, and everybody in the audience. Please give Michelle all your love, and we'll
thank
have a great week here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, please send your prayers. We need a lot of strength because
Yes.
in my family we have a little health issue, and we just wanted to get it,
Yes.
take it out and make sure
That's
that
right.
we're back in shape.
That's right.
And if
Lots
I'm
of
not
love and
here
health to
a
you.
week or two, it's basically because I'm taking care of my mommy, but she'll get better soon, I hope.
Yeah. All our love to your mommy.
Yeah.
All right, you guys take care and remember to love one another. We will see you guys next time on The New Normal.
See.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from Calyx Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from Calyx Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calyxsolutions.io.